Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back. I'm behind the camera again for a very special video. Rise of the Beast is inbound. It is coming out very, very soon. I'm sure we are all very excited. I know I am. But I thought in the meantime, while we wait, thought it would be nice to have a look back at the cinematic history of the Transformers. So, in front of me, I have every Transformers movie on Blu-ray, and I also have a few of the TV shows in my collection as well. This is all the Transformers that I own on Blu-ray and DVD, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, let's just jump right into it. Starting off, I want to look at the movies, and we cannot start the movies without looking at where it all began. The Transformers, the movie on Blu-ray. I love this movie, man. I adore it. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just, I almost can't describe how much I love this movie and why I love it so much. I love Transformers. This movie is probably the most faithful adaptation we've ever gotten for a feature-length film, and I love it for that. This is a great Blu-ray release. This is the Australian release by Madman. You look inside, you've got the disc, and you even have a lot of advertisements for other Transformers media. And that disc artwork is gorgeous. The artwork they used on this release was great. The best I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure this was the Japanese poster for the original theatrical release, or maybe a special edition release. Ignore what I just said, that was bad. Anyway, great artwork, great release. This is how I watched the movie for the first time. I love it. Cannot get enough of it. But we will move on to the updated version of that, which is the 4K restoration for the 35th anniversary. This is a great transfer. Considering that this movie is kind of a cult classic, I'm amazed it got a 4K release and a 4K steelbook release, as a matter of fact. And just more brilliant artwork. Rodimus on the front there, you go to the back. Galvatron, beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination. Awesome, awesome release. And the 4K master for this movie is brilliant. I love it. Beautiful artwork on the disc there. Some nice artwork in the back of the case there. I actually don't remember what's in this envelope. Ah, yeah, it's all art cards. Steals from the movie. Very, very cool. I'm so happy that this movie got a release like this. And if you haven't gotten... The steelbook, I think, is a bit harder to come by now. I got this as soon as it came out. I pre-ordered it, which I rarely pre-order anything ever. But even if you just pick up the standard 4K Blu-ray, it looks brilliant. It's so well done. You can see every scratch and imperfection on the film cells. It's beautiful. I love it. But moving on to the next best Transformers movie. 2007. I'm trying to think. Arguably, where my fandom started, it's a combination of this and something else we'll talk about later. I love this movie. I think it is great. Like, genuinely a great movie. One of the all-time great action films to me. This movie was one of the first ones to prove how great you can make a film when you incorporate practical stunt work and CGI in the same film just fluently together. I've already spoken about how I love this movie in many, many videos. This 4K release, it's solid. It's not the best 4K master I've ever seen on 4K. That can be said for a lot of these movies. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were working with I don't think they rescanned the film for this movie. I don't think that'd be possible, actually. No, because it would have been no, they would have scanned this from a 2K digital intermediate because you cannot scan CGI effects from film. At least not the ones they were doing in this movie. Brilliant movie, great 4K release, even from a 2K intermediate, still looks great, love it. Then moving on to Revenge of the Fallen, not a great movie, but still great action. This is a special release I have. This is the American Blu-ray, but it's special because it's a special edition that actually comes with the big screen IMAX edition, which you can only get on this version of the Blu-ray. I bought this a while back. I actually made a whole video about this Blu-ray and the IMAX cut of Revenge of the Fallen. So if you're interested, I would definitely go and check out that video. And then moving up for Revenge of the Fallen, we have the 4K release. I still cannot believe they did not use the IMAX ratios on this release. It pisses me off to this day. But it's definitely an upgrade over the older Blu-ray. Look, I'll lose the IMAX ratios in those certain scenes just so I can have that higher resolution for the rest of the film. Revenge of the Fallen, it's a good-looking movie. The story is, well, a different story. Still love popping this one in every now and then just when I want to watch a mindless action movie. And then, moving on, Dark of the Moon. Whew, man, Look, it's really close between 2007 and this one for my favorite Transformers movie. I think I like the story of 2007 a bit more, and that's why I like that movie more than this one. But the action in this movie is... Honestly, I kind of think this movie's underrated. Look, the fandom loves it, but I think it's underappreciated in the conversation with other action films. Yes, it's excessive. Yes, it's in your face. But honestly, this is one of my favorite action films ever made. I can watch this movie all day, every day. I love it. This was a massive comeback after after Revenge of the Fallen. And I think, look, 2007 is my favorite, but this was the peak of these movies for me. It's going to be very hard to top a movie like this ever again. And now we move on to where the franchise started going downhill. I've said before and I'll say it again, I at least like all of the Transformers movies. This one just scrapes by. Listen, I own this on 4K because regardless of how the movie is in terms of quality, it looks really, really nice on 4K. The CGI in this movie is crisp as hell, man, and it looks great on a 4K disc. The action in this movie is the saving grace. It's excessive to the point where it almost gets boring at some places, but I still watch this movie occasionally just because I love Transformers, and there are some things to like about this movie. And The Last Night, the last Michael Bay Transformers movie. I used to really hate this movie more than Age of Extinction, but I've come around on it in recent years. In fact, after I watched it on 4K was when I changed my mind on it. I think this movie is a little bit more relaxed than Age of Extinction. It's not as excessive, not as in your face. That being said, it still has a lot of the bad elements from Age of Extinction in this movie. I do kind of just enjoy it as this globe-trotting adventure with Transformers in it, but by no means is this a good movie. It's fine, I like it, I don't watch it very often, but like Age of Extinction, it looks brilliant on 4K. It's one of the best looking 4K Blu-rays I have, even if the shifting aspect ratio makes me want to vomit while I'm watching it. But yeah, that is all of the movies that I have on Blu-ray. And now we can move on to the TV shows. I do not have a lot of Transformers TV shows on Blu-ray, partly because I don't think many of them are actually very good. Look, I have Generation 1 here, the DVD collection. I haven't finished it. Will I finish it? I don't know. Look, back in the day, I can imagine as a kid growing up in the 80s, this would have been amazing. Going back to it now, It's rough, man. Like, it just is. I'm sorry. It has its moments, it has its episodes, but it's just Transformers has been done so much better since this show. If you still love it and you still watch it, I can totally understand why. I just don't think it's really for me. That being said, this is Transformers Generation 1 on DVD. I'm amazed that this series hasn't gotten a Blu-ray yet, because I know fans would absolutely just eat that shit up. I mean, hell, I don't even like this show that much, and I would buy this on Blu-ray. But yeah, there's a lot of Transformers in here, and if you're a G1 fan, you should just have this in your collection. It's a no-brainer. The next, an infinitely better show than the Generation 1 cartoon. Transformers Animated. Man, I love this show. This show and the 2007 movie were what got me into Transformers. I adore this show. I think, look, it's very much still a kid's show. Every Transformers show is. But this one actually has its moments. Like, you know, even as an adult now, I can go back to this show and appreciate it. It's pretty brief. It's only 42 20-minute episodes. It has very nice character moments. The animation still holds up incredibly well. I don't think the Transformers have ever been this stylized. And it's just a fun show, man. Like, this is one that I'm sure in the future when I have kids, this is one I want to watch with them. I love this show. It might be my favorite Transformers show, but it's currently tied with another one that I'm about to talk about. Transformers Prime. God damn, this is a Transformers show. I know some people don't like it. Like, I know back in the day when the designs first came out, people thought they looked awful. They were soon proven very wrong when the show came out and was awesome. This show, to me, just nails that perfect in-between of being very much a kid's cartoon, but having enough elements where adult fans can really appreciate it and get into it. I think this is the best Transformers story that's ever been told. Well, maybe not ever told, but in terms of the TV shows, this show has the strongest narrative out of all the television shows. It's just brilliant. The animation still holds up incredibly well. I cannot believe they put so much money into making a 3D animated show that still looks this good. But yeah, I had to pick it up on Blu-ray, and I watched the whole thing on Blu-ray, save for one season, which I'll talk about in a second. But this show's flawless, and I love it. Season 2 of Transformers Prime. Now, I have this one on DVD because I could not buy this anywhere in Australia. I got Season 1 in Australia, but my only option for buying Season 2 was overseas. If I was to get the Blu-ray from America, it would have costed me about 100 Australian dollars. I could not justify that, no matter how much I love this show, I just could not. So I picked up the American DVD for a much, much smaller price. And while it kind of sucks that it's not in HD, it still looks great. Season 2 keeps the show running. I don't... No, actually, yeah, I probably would say this season's better than Season 1. Love the show. Love the DVD. It's awesome. Then we move on to Beast Hunters. Really strange way to end the show, in my opinion. Especially since they had to shove it all into what I think they ended it with 13 episodes. Compared to like the other seasons had like 20, 24, that sort of thing. I like Beast Hunters. It's still Transformers Prime, even if they do reduce the narrative to, we have to go this place and find this, da-da-da-da-da, stop Megatron. Well, that's all the Transformers. I don't know what I'm saying right now. It's just not as strong as the first two seasons, in my opinion, but it's still great, and the ending of this show is perfect, and I love it. This isn't the ending of Transformers Prime, but the real ending of Transformers Prime is Predacons Rising. This is another American Blu-ray I picked up because they're like The rest, I could not get this in Australia. Predacons Rising is fine. It's a weird way to end the show. Put it this way. The movie as a whole, for an ending of a series, it's rough. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's enjoyable enough. The final scene in this movie where, spoilers if you haven't seen it and care, Optimus sacrifices himself to restore Cybertron. Restore? Yeah. Where Optimus sacrifices himself to restore Cybertron. It's beautiful. I love it. It's the perfect way to end the show as a whole. The rest of this movie is just a strange sort of way to finish a TV show, I've always thought. But, you know, sold enough movie. It's a Transformers movie I always forget about, but... And speaking of that, that is everything. Bring these bad boys back in here. I love Transformers. I've said this many, many times. It's one of the biggest collections I have on my shelf, and there's a good reason for that. A lot of the stuff's pretty damn good. That being said, I still have a lot of TV shows that I haven't watched for Transformers. I may get around to them sometimes, but, you know, when people talk the amount of shit they do about Energon, it makes me question whether or not I should actually watch those TV shows. Anyway, thank you guys, as always, for watching. I'm sure when Rise of the Beast comes out, I'm going to get that on 4K, probably get the Steelbook, I hope, and I'll have another video for that, but that's a long way away yet. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and enjoy Rise of the Beast. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.